Hello all, we are Group Q and we are presenting on the topic of microeconomic analysis for the company Asian Paints. So let us begin with a brief introduction of the company. This company was founded in 1942 in the pre-independence era by Mr. Champaklal Choksey and some of his friends. Initially, the company focused on decorative paint segments for the rural market. It achieved remarkable growth with CAGR of 20% for over 60 years of period. In 1950, it introduced a game-changing, market-disrupting washable distemper. Currently, this company is market leader, and in financial year 2022, it have a market share of around 42%. This company is known for its innovative and customer-centric approach. This company purchased a supercomputer for market estimation, data analytics, and supply chain management even before any IIT or any other institution acquired a supercomputer. So it is a very visionary company. It have a market campaign known as Don't Lose Your Temper, Use Tractor Distemper. Moving on. So here is the analysis of the paint market and the demand. So paint market segment can be broadly divided into two major categories, the decorative segment and the industrial segment. The decorative segment focuses on the needs of the consumer or the normal population of the country, which involves home decoration, commercial spaces decoration, and other things. The industrial paint segment is for businesses and industrial applications which have durability, performance, and compliances with regulations. It involves anti-corrosion coatings and other things. The market of Asian paints is highly dependent on domestic decorative segment, as you can see in this pie chart. This company works on domestic decoratives, as I said. It also sells in international market. It has a very small share of 2.4% for industrial uses and a very small share of 2.3% for home improvement, which includes sanitary and kitchen utilities. So we can divide the market in three major categories: the premium category, medium category, and popular category. The premium category targets tier 1 cities, high class population that focuses on the quality of the paint. And this company have some good variety and luxury variety of products for them. Then we have a medium category which focuses on tier 2 cities, middle and upper middle class population, which want color quality and variety along with cost effectiveness. Then we have popular category which focuses on tier 3 and tier 4 cities whose population is major concern of cost effectiveness. So here we can see a pyramid. The premium category provides the lowest volume demand. Medium category and the popular category have a huge demand of paints. Now discussing about the factor affecting the demands. Increasing the disposable income. Significant, we can see a significant rise in the household disposable income and decline in the propensity to save. So there is an increased willingness to spend on improving the standards of living. We can see here in the graph that the gross household saving is increasing as we move along the curve, and also the disposable income is also increasing. When people have money, they want to spend it improving the standard of living, thus increasing the demand for the paints. Increasing urbanization has an important factor in affecting the quantity demanded for paints. As the urbanization increases, the quantity demanded for the paints increase. Now there is one more interesting factor, the repainting cycle. So out of total paint demand, 70% of the paint demand is for the repainting purpose and only 30% is for the fresh painting. So we can have an inference here that the repainting frequency in India is decreasing. So in last 7-8 years, the repainting frequency is decreased to 4 to 5 years, which was earlier 7 to 8 years. So we can have an inference here that increasing the disposable income and of the population increases the lifestyle of people and also increases their ability and their will to have a good lifestyle. So based on the three factors which we have seen in the previous slides, we can have a elasticity estimation for the paint industry or for the Asian paints. Population disposable income is directly proportional to the demand of paint, as we have seen in the previous slides. So we can say that the Asian paint is highly income elastic. If the income of the population increases, the demand will subsequently increase. If it decreases, then the demand will decrease. So in this curve, we can see the correlation of paint industry volume growth with respect to real GDP. and which shows a positive correlation with the GDP. Now discussing about the demand elasticity, if the price increases, people will shift to cheaper alternatives like samosa and whitewash, because if the price is high, they will tend to go for cheaper alternatives. The second graph also shows the per capita consumption of paint is increasing gradually as we have a GDP growth. So this creates a major challenge for this industry, as the paint industry is heavily dependent on the crude oil as its raw material. So any fluctuation in the price of raw material highly affect the price of paints, which make this market sometimes very unstable, like current scenario of Russia-Ukraine war and some tensions in Middle East, like Israel and Hamas war, is creating a major impact on the crude prices of the crude oil and thus disrupting this market. Now, discussing about the advertisement and promotional strategies, this company works on two types of advertisement: the trade promotion (B2B). In this promotion, the company's representative visits to dealer and painters to review their needs and also advertise their products to them. Then the second is B2C, the theme-based advertisement direct to customer through various broadcasting channels, utilizing like television and various other things. It has successful advertisement campaigns like Har Ghar Kuch Kehta Hai, very emotional connection for the homes, for the people, and Mera Wala Green, which is something that shows the extensive color range that Asian Paints offer with its tint technology that offer and a wide range of color variety. It also has a branding mascot called Gattu, which is highly appealing for both the painters and also the consumers. Apart from this, it also has some promotions through sponsorship. Like in KBC, we have Asian Paints as a sponsor, and for Kolkata Knight Riders, we have Asian Paints as the official sponsor. According to the financial report of the company, the Asian Paints spends about 558.24 CR in financial year 17-18, and which increases to 6,695 CR in financial year 18-19.
Hello, my name is Dhanya. I am from AI branch. Capital and cost overview. Asian Paint possesses a diverse range of capital types which contributes to its overall success and performance. These include financial capital. The company has substantial shareholders funds totaling 15,585.6 crores from equity investments and also leverages debt capital of 93.8 crores. Manufactured capital. This manufactured capital include infrastructure, machinery and production capacity essential for manufacturing operations. This includes property, plant and equipment essential for paint manufacturing, which totals up to 3,487.6 crores, and also an in-house installed decorative paint capacity of 17 lakhs kiloliter per annum. Intellectual capital. Asian Paints invests 108 crores in research and development, supported by a team of over 240 scientists at its research and technology center, showcasing a commitment to innovation and technology advancement. Human capital. The company invests 23.7 crores in learning and to nurture and upskill the workforce, and also maintains a significant workforce of 8,056 permanent employees and 23,980 contractual employees. Social and relationship capital. With a wide network of over 150,000 retail touchpoints and relationships with more than 240,000 business influencers, Asian Paints has a strong social relationship capital. Additionally, the company actively engages in CSR activities and collaborates with around 20,000 diverse suppliers. Natural capital. The company is mindful of its environmental impact with metrics like paint specific non processed water consumption and specific electricity consumption and renewable electricity consumption, reflecting its commitment to sustainable practices. These different types of capital contributes to Asian Paint's overall success and financial performance. Uh, Next is the production cost overview, which includes various expenses directly related to manufacturing or the production of goods. Production costs include costs of materials, in which Both the raw materials expenses and packing materials expenses are uh, calculated and added. The raw materials like pigments, binders, and solvents are directly used in the production of paints, making this a variable cost because it fluctuates with production volume. Packing materials used for production, protection, and presentation are also variable as their cost varies with the number of units produced. Approximately 17k crores are spent on cost of on materials this financial year. Power and fuel costs. These power and fuel costs encompasses costs associated with electricity, gas, or other energy sources. These are variable costs since they are directly related to the amount of energy needed for production. The expenses for power and fuel this financial year is 138.29 crores. Maintenance and repair cost. The cost of maintaining and repairing equipment is a variable cost since as as the production increases, with the need for maintain and repairs rises, leading to increased expenses. The expenses for maintenance and repairs this financial year is 161.84 crores. Depreciation of production equipment. Depreciation is a considered a fixed cost because it's determined the estimated useful life of equipment rather than production levels. It accounts for the gradual wear and tear of production assets over time. The depreciation of plant equipment and property is 551.5 crores this financial year. Employee expenses, wages, permanent employees. The fixed salaries and benefits for the permanent employees are fixed costs because the company has to pay them irrespective of production levels. However, bonuses that permanent employees may receive would be variable since they depend on performance and may not be guaranteed. Contract workers. Contract workers' wages are variable costs that are typically paid and on an hourly or project basis, so their income varies based on the duration and scope of their contracts. And also, fixed employees are subjected to various benefits like uh, health, social security, bonus, paid vacation, and also staff welfare expenses, share-based payment expenses. These are considered fixed costs because the company is subjected to pay the employees this extra benefits irrespective of the production. The salaries and wages, which contains both the benefits like bonuses and the fixed salaries that the company spent this financial year is 1784 crores. R&D, technology, and other expenses. Expenses, research and development costs. Expenses on research and development are typically fixed costs. Companies budget for these expenses in advance and they don't directly fluctuate with production levels. However, the outcomes of R&D activities such as cost-saving technology and new products can indirectly impact variable production costs. The Asian Paints company spent approximately 108 crores on R&D expenses this year, and they're able to produce 22 new products, which may lead to further decrease in other variable costs since due to its innovation, and also for expenses for implementing new technologies. The Asian companies prioritize uh, IT technology and invest in it so to digitalize solutions to digitalize various problems and give them effective solutions. And Asian Paints like e-commerce platform, color with Asian Paints, digital supply chain management. Asian Paints spent about 83.2 crores this financial year. Other expenses, uh, tax expense. Taxation expenses are variable costs because they are directly linked to the company's profits, and the amount of tax paid depends on the level of production and income. Uh, Approximately 1,382 crores are deducted as taxation fee from the profits this financial year. Also, Corporate social responsibility. These are variable costs associated with CSR activities depending on the scope and nature of the initiatives. Also, commission to non-executive directors, audit expenses, travel expenses, etc. are totaled up to 4.5k crores this financial year. And some of them, and in it, some of them like commission and audit expenses are fixed costs, but travel expenses, other miscellaneous expenses are of variable costs. Thank you.
Okay, now let's discuss how Asian Paints has experienced economies of scale or economies of scope. In recent years, Asian Paints has observed that the demand in smaller cities and towns has been growing at a faster pace, and it is observed that the nearly 40 to 50% of the demand comes from metros and tier 1 cities, and the balance 50 to 60% comes from smaller towns. So, over the past years, the film has introduced a number of products under the Tractor and Ace brands, which are essentially economies or value for money brands. Even the recently launched these brands have priced 15 to 20% below the lowest priced and has performed very well and has spurred growth in the low end segment. So the Asian Paints has experienced economies of scope in the business operation. It has a wide product portfolio including a variety of paints and coatings for different applications, including decorative paints, industrial coatings, automotive coatings, etc. And economies of scope occur when a firm can produce multiple products at a lower average cost due to the synergies and shared resources among these product lines. Also, the Asian Paints has grown over the years both in terms of its market share and its production capacity. As the company produces more paint, it can spread its fixed cost over a larger volume of production, which are mainly decorative paints, and these constitute at around 94% in the total paint business. And by this, it can lead to lower per unit production costs, making the company more cost efficient and competitive. Now let's discuss about how efficiently Asian Paints utilizes its resources. Asian Paints have always been on an upper hand when compared to others in terms of resource management and recycling. About 50% of net revenue is spent on procuring raw material and packing material. Material efficiency allows to reduce resource consumption and save costs. Asian Paints always approaches the environment issue from the perspective of waste minimization and conservation of resources. Asian Paints products not only conform to international VOC specifications, but they also do not contain any hazardous raw materials like lead, heavy metals, alkyl phenyl ethalates, and toxic materials. Some of the best paints like Royal Shine, and Apex Ultima also follow the hazardous material usage guidelines, and by this, the Asian Paints efficiently uses its resources to minimize the wastage and also produce harmless products.
Okay, let's go through market equilibrium of Asian paints. Market equilibrium mostly depends upon the supply and demand and surplus and shortage of the products of the Asian paints. Okay, let's go through supply and demands. Asian paints operate in competitive industry where the demands for its products, especially decorative paints, is influenced by several factors such as customer preference and constructive activities. The companies must manage its production to match these demands. And while coming through the surplus and shortage, in case the Asian paints during the period of high demands, frequently during the festival times, house booms, there might be a shortage in specific product line or color due to increased demand. Controversially, during slow economic periods or off seasons, there might be surplus inventory due to reduced demands. The equilibrium mostly depends upon the seasonality and the economic conditions and the changing customer preference. The company tries to manage this by adjusting production and inventory qualities. And let's go through the price stability in Asian Paints. Price stability in Asian Paints. The price stability mostly depending upon the maintenance and scalability of the product. Mostly depends upon the raw material, and current fluctuations and competitive pressure can impact the price strategy. Competitive markets, in highly competitive markets like paint industry, pricing strategies play a crucial role for stable pricing. They may employ various strategies such as product differentiation, promotionality pricing, and loyal programming. The price fluctuation in price stability goes by different means of ways, like sudden change in the cost of raw material, and the strategies used to produce a new variant will change the fluctuation of prices. That's it.
So I'm here to discuss about the question being asked here, which is we are asked to describe and discuss the market structure of the firm faces, which is Asian Paints, considering all these kind of market competitions, and also why do we think that particular market structure we chose is actually depicting the film that we have chosen. So coming to the market structure of Asian Paints, if you see Asian Paints Limited basically operates in the paint and coatings industry, which generally shows the characteristics of an oligopolistic market. Why? Because there will be competition between some small numbers of larger firms. For example, the competitors of Asian Paints are like Burger Paints India Limited and Kansai Nerolac Paints, Axo Nobel India Limited, and Indigo Paints. Likewise, these large firms hold like major market power, and whatever is their actions, they strongly influence the market dynamics. So it's safe to say that Asian Paints comes under an oligopolistic market. And coming to why oligopoly, there are several reasons why we can say Asian Paints comes under an oligopolistic market structure. So some of the factors are discussed in the presentation, and as well as in the report, looking like high entry barriers, economies of scale, and product differentiation. Then we come to profit margin, and based on the employee numbers as well. And looking at the factors, first is high barriers to entry, which generally means for a third party or a newcomer to enter the paint market, it requires heavy capital investments in order to establish their manufacturing units, as well as distributing the networks, be it for research and development. And all such regions need heavy capital investments in the initial stage. Like since other players of the market, like all these Asian Paints, Burger Paints, all these market players have already have a well-established firm, it would be difficult for others to come and compete with them. And so a situation like this is common when we see an oligopolistic market. So that is discussed in the report as well. And coming to the economies of scale, as the size of the business matters when it comes to the economies of scale, a company like Asian Paints can be well benefited by increasing their production. So by doing so, what will happen is that their fixed costs get spread over a large number of their manufacturing units. So as they produce more paint, they can allocate these fixed costs over a large number of volume of production or units, we can say, which in turn will reduce the per unit cost of the production. Also, as per the economies of scale law. Also, by influencing their purchasing power in the market, since they have maintained a legacy or a certain amount of reputation during their time, they can use that purchasing power to negotiate better prices from their suppliers, which can help them to do cost savings also. And based on cost of goods sold, which is the COGS growth percentage, the economies of scale has been evaluated in the report as well. For a start, I can say in 2022 they had 44.09 percentage of COGS growth, and when it comes to 2023, it went down to 14.97 percentage. As there is a significant decrease in the COGS growth, this could be due to the larger production volumes or cost saving done by the company. This also means that the decrease in that COGS percentage also means that Asian Paints is spending less to produce each unit of paint. This is a strong indicator of economies of scale, whereas wherein production increases, so as per unit cost decreases. Coming to product differentiation, in the paint industry, films often differentiate their products based on factors like giving any color options or different variants of paints, or introducing new eco-friendly paints or some new features like that. Asian Paints offers a wide range of paint products to serve different customers. Uh, there are some products like Royal Glitz or Tractor Emulsion or Royal Mineral or Crack Seal. Likewise, there are many products which usually is a practice in an oligopolistic market in order to create brand loyalty and maintain the market share. So that is one thing. And coming to profit margins, it is a financial stat which can be used to calculate the percentage of profit a company makes from its total revenue. Uh, for example, if a company consistently earns high profits and maintains these profits year after year, it may indicate that it's part of a small group and powerful firms, since very few firms are taking part. If a company's profit margins increase over time, it suggests that it's getting even stronger in the market, which obviously is a sign of an oligopoly. And based on the profit margin, calculations have been done in the report, and I've tried to conclude that it indicates oligopolic nature of the company. Also, the ability to maintain profit margins suggests that Asian Paints has significant pricing power. So, in oligopolistic markets, dominant firms can control prices, and even uh, a single company doing better in the market will actually affect the market dynamics, so that the competitor as well will have to react to the other companies' growth in the financial region. So that is one thing. And coming to the employee numbers, in order to characterize oligopoly of the Asian Paints using the employee numbers, I've actually taken employee to revenue ratio in the report, based on which calculations have been done in the report, and I've compared the employee numbers of Asian Paints with their competitor Burger Paints Limited, and I've come up with the ratio value, which in turn turns out to be very less in for Asian Paints. So roughly from the calculation, Asian Paints has a notably lower employee to revenue ratio, which indicates that they are more efficient in managing their workforce in relation to its revenue. This also suggests that Asian Paints optimizes its resources and is potentially can say more competitive in terms of cost efficiency. And all these in the context of an oligopoly, since they have a lower ratio, they are consistent with the behavior of dominant firms that can effectively manage their resources, and they can operate efficiently in a market with limited competition. So, with all these factors, we have tried to conclude the oligopolistic market structure of Asian Paints, and these points that I've discussed are explained elaborately in the report. So, yeah, that's it. These are our references, and thank you.